Welcome back to the most dramatic episode of any show ever.
Welcome back to the Third Wind channel, and it's been a while, but we are back with a new season of iCarly on the horizon, and today we will be breaking down the brand new trailer. They've given us a trailer that's just over a minute, and there's still a lot to go through, so let's get into it. I was going to go through the trailer in chronological order, but it felt a little long-winded, so instead I divided the trailer into different parts. First up, the iCarly web show itself. The opening scene from the trailer already shows that the iCarly web show is undergoing big changes. We see Spencer hosting, and he says this.
Welcome back to the most dramatic episode of any show ever.
This feels like a product of iCarly's new big manager introduced last season in Paul. Of course, before the show was managed solely by Freddie and Carly. In this scene, you can also notice what is seemingly a production crew, and Freddie is not on the camera. Continuing on the topic of Paul, we have a confirmation that Josh Peck is physically reprising his role, as we see him a couple times in the trailer. We have this scene here, which definitely shows that the production has been elevated, and lastly, Paul also exclaims this.
We're gonna win an Emmy!
Maybe I'm deeping it, but if Carly's show is potentially winning an Emmy, then they have probably moved to TV, which would explain the production crew. Interesting to see how that will look, but on the topic of returning characters, we have plenty, which is super fun, as I wasn't really sure we'd see these faces again. Lubert appears a couple times in the Benson household, which leads me to believe, based on these scenes, that he and Marissa are together, and maybe even engaged. This scene here looks like it's some sort of engagement announcement, a nightmare for Freddie and Millicent probably, but will be interesting to see where they will go with that. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see Lubert return, as his episode last season was a highlight. Here's one I didn't expect. Neville and his wife are returning. Neville's actor has retired from acting, and the way his episode was written last season left his return as optional, but yes! We get more Neville, one of the most important characters in the original. Surely he has another diabolical plan to take iCarly down. We now move from unexpected to straight up unpredictable, as it seems that James Maslow from Big Time Rush will make an appearance. For those of you who don't remember, I barely do, James Maslow has a character that exists in the iCarly universe, Shane. The last we saw from him in the original was him falling down the Bushwell elevator shaft, and the context is we'll see them as some sort of gym teacher, challenging Carly maybe for some sort of revenge. Exciting that they're bringing back these original characters, ones that we didn't even expect. I'll expand on this scene where he's in a little bit later in the video. Lastly, when it comes to returning characters, it's someone who's not actually in the trailer but perhaps could appear. The Groovy Smoothie logo is brought back here, so maybe, just maybe, we'll see Tebow, a real fan favorite and a series regular in the latter seasons of the original. And now, on the topic of the Groovy Smoothie, let's talk about some of the new settings featured in the trailer. We can start with the Groovy Smoothie scene, which is clearly in some way at Shay What. Freddie and Carly seem to be recreating the famous dance scene in the Groovy Smoothie in the original, which is honestly heart-melting. Reportedly, they'll even use the same music, and by the way, Tebow was the one who turned the music up in that scene, so maybe he can do the same again. I made a video on this scene, and you can find that in the card on the top right now. Next, we're back at Ridgeway High School, this time a brand new part of the school that we've never seen, the gym. It seems like one of the episodes will be taking place here. By the looks of it, Carly is going through some sort of challenge. It could be against Shane in some way. This scene is also fun because we get to see Carly in the full uniform with the Ridgeway Bulldog mascot nice and visible, a nice callback to all the scenes at the school we had in the original. In this scene on screen now, you can see some sort of event, and in the background it says auction charity, so that's probably what it is. Only noteworthy thing here is that Carly seems to have a date, and it does look like her typical airhead type from the little we see. Perhaps this is a date to make a certain someone special jealous. More on that soon. Otherwise, we also see a scene at an axe throwing practice range, which looks like it can be the site of a heated scene between Carly and Pearl. Lastly, a new setting that I'm really excited about. We are potentially seeing the rooftop of the Bushwell for the first time, and I did some analyzing and we might be able to make some predictions based on this setting. Freddie says this.
We are live streaming for an exclusive announcement.
Note, behind him, there's a little picnic setup, and in a later scene in the trailer, we see Carly share an intimate moment in the same setting with Freddie. My guess is that the announcement on the rooftop is Creddie being official, which brings me to the most important theme and part of this trailer. This trailer makes it abundantly clear that Creddie will be a main plot focus for this season. The dilemma is Freddie is in a serious relationship with Pearl, but now Carly has finally realized how she feels about Freddie, meaning the tables have really turned. We grew up watching Freddie's unrequited love of Carly, in a way the only consistent thing in the original when it comes to plot, and now we see the flip side, and it will probably be the most exciting storyline since the original ended. The theme of best friends catching feelings for one another is a classic story, a complicated one, but has the potential to be something really beautiful. In the trailer, we see a proposal from Freddie, supposedly meant for Pearl, but Carly walks it instead. Is Freddie really rushing into another marriage? This whole incident seems to strengthen the rift started last season between Carly and Pearl. We see this rift throughout the trailer, with Pearl throwing shade or jealousy on Carly several times. We get some hard-hitting quotes from Carly, Freddie, and Pearl. I'll play them in sequence for you now.
Freddie and Pearl are thriving.
But what about Freddie and Carly?
I'd say I'm good for someone who recently realized she has feelings for her best friend, but he wants to focus on her friendship, which she totally agrees is the right call. There's a love line between Freddie and Pearl. He and I are a squiggle.
No matter what awkward phase of Carly Freddydom we're in, I am always going to be there for you.
You two are obsessed with each other.
So Carly admits feelings for her best friend. Freddie says he'll always be there for her no matter what. Pearl accuses the two of them for being crazy about each other, and Harper supports Creddie. All this leads into a very interesting ending for the trailer, one that really leads us to believe that Creddie will be a relationship this season, and here it is.
Pearl's right.
You're the person who I can always count on.
Is this really happening?
It took us long enough.
Man, it just looks perfect and beautiful, and that mural of memories seemingly set up by Carly is sentimental and a perfect way to remind Freddie of their history. And there's no better place to do it than in the studio alone with Freddie, as that is where some of their most intimate moments have been. That's the trailer covered, other than a few Easter eggs like the traditional Spencer fires and the comic return of Carly's sleeping breathing machine thing, but honestly, this season is feeling like the best one yet. Everyone seems like they've settled into their characters finally, and we have a solid plot, something that was missing from the first two seasons, and the vibes are good, if that makes sense. Seems like Freddie and Carly will really be at the forefront here, with the other characters probably taking a step back this season, so I can't wait. I've been waiting for Creddie since 15 years ago, and we finally have it coming in this season. But thank you for watching the video. More videos coming soon. Drop your thoughts, predictions, and anything you want in the comments, and I'll see you all very soon.
Who's got what